I want you to think about the most successful version of yourself. The person you know you could be. The life you know you are capable of living. Now ask yourself one honest question. What is actually standing between you and that version of your life? It is not money. It is not time. It is not talent. It is not luck. It is noise. The noise outside. The noise inside. The endless distraction of a world that profits from your inability to sit still and think. The Stoics had a daily practice that took less than 1 hour. And it is the single most powerful thing you will ever do alone and in silence. Stay with me. Every single morning, Marcus Aurelius sat alone. Before the Senate. Before the generals. Before the weight of an empire descended on his shoulders. He sat in silence. And he wrote. Not for an audience. Not for history. Not for anyone but himself. He wrote what he was struggling with. What he was grateful for. What kind of man he wanted to be. Before the day had a chance to decide for him. What you now know as Meditations. One of the most powerful books ever written. Was never meant to be read by anyone. It was a private practice, a daily discipline. A man talking to himself. In the silence. Before the world woke up. And that practice is what kept the most powerful man on earth from becoming corrupted by his own power. We live in a world that has declared war on silence. The moment you wake up, your phone demands your attention. Notifications. News. Other people's lives. Other people's opinions. Other people's emergencies. And before you have had a single thought of your own, your mind is already full of everything that belongs to everyone else. This is not an accident. The entire digital economy is built on one thing. Your attention. Every second you spend consuming someone else's content is a second you are not spending building your own life. The Stoics called this the examined life. Socrates said, the unexamined life is not worth living. Not because he was being dramatic, but because he understood that a life lived entirely on the surface. Reacting, scrolling, consuming, performing, is a life that passes without ever being truly lived. So what is the practice? It is simple. Almost embarrassingly simple. Every day. Alone. In silence. You sit. And you examine. What did I do yesterday that moved me closer to who I want to become? What did I do that moved me further away? What am I avoiding that I know I should face? What am I pretending not to know? These are not comfortable questions. That discomfort is the entire point. Epictetus said, no man is free who is not master of himself. And you cannot master yourself without first knowing yourself. And you cannot know yourself in the noise. The practice of sitting alone in silence is not meditation in the modern sense. It is not about emptying your mind. It is about filling it with the right things. Your own thoughts. Your own values. Your own honest assessment of the gap between who you are and who you know you should be. Seneca wrote to his friend Lucilius, retire into yourself as much as possible. Not from the world permanently, but from the world daily. 1 hour. Every single day. No phone. No music. No other voices. Just you. And the truth that only silence can reveal. The most successful people in every field. Artists, warriors, emperors, philosophers. All shared one practice. They protected their silence, like it was their most valuable possession. Because it was. In the silence, you hear the things. The noise was designed to drown out your real ambitions, your honest fears, the direction your life is actually supposed to go, versus the direction everyone else's expectations are pushing you. The world will never stop being loud. But you can choose to stop letting the loudness be the only thing you hear. Start tomorrow morning. Before the phone. Before the news. Before anyone else's voice enters your mind. Sit alone. In silence. For 1 hour. And watch what begins to change, not in the world around you, but in the world inside you. That is where everything begins. That is where Marcus Aurelius built his empire. Before he ever set foot in the Senate. In the silence. Alone. With nothing but the truth. And the willingness to face it. This is Stoic rules. Go be alone. Go be silent. Go become who you already know you are.